Hi Pisces, welcome to AshunasTarot. I went ahead and pre-shuffled and laid out the spread and connected to spirits. I'm also trying out a new setup, so things will be shifting in the next couple of days, making more time to be on YouTube. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. And Pisces, Saturn coming into Pisces within, I believe it's the 6th or the 7th, but a lot of the changes that have been happening have been building up to that energy. So it's massive change. Honestly, it's the winds of change, and I just did a reading about that, but it's the culmination, it's the buildup, and there's a lot of change happening. As you can see in the cards, 5, 5, 5. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, the Hierophant. They're all 5, 5, 5. So 5 represents massive changes in your life, and this is like life transitions, okay? And one aspect of your life changing to where it affects and impacts every other aspect of your life. But it does talk about massive changes. If you're into numerology and you resonate with this message, look up what 555 means for you. 5555 means for you. And even when it repeats 3 times, it makes the message more powerful. Because again, 5 also represents freedom, change, transitions, shifting in the energies, restructuring. But when we get 5, 5, 5, there's a massive change coming into your life. And again, it's all good. It's all positive. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get started, Pisces. If you would like a private reading, all the information's in the description box below. Make sure to include your name, your questions, and your birthday so that you can get your reading within 24 to 48 hours. If one piece of information is missing, I have to kind of email back, and then that prolongs the process. But yes, if you want to get a private reading, all the information is in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get started, Pisces. The general energy coming in is the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So there's something in the past, an offer or an idea of something that you thought that you wanted, that looked really good on the outside, but in reality, it didn't bring the results or the returns or the change that you were wanting from this opportunity or from this offer, whatever this was for you. This could have even been, and with the 3 of Cups and the Knight of Cups, this is a little bit of water energy coming in. Also King of Cups, 5 of Cups. It could have been something to do with emotional fulfillment. So it could have been something to do with the relationship, a connection, or something that you were very emotionally attached to, which could also be a career or a passion project or something along those lines. And again, this is a general reading, so I don't want to get too specific on what this is for you. If you would like a personal reading, the information is in the description box below. But here, the energy that I'm feeling with this Knight of Cups is that there was some kind of offer, some kind of opportunity that came into your life in the past that you thought, okay, this is it. Okay, this is the one, this is it. I'm going to go in on this. This is what I'm going to invest my time into. And again, in the upright, look how pretty it looks. There's the roses, there's the horse, there's chocolates, there's roses, there's grapes. Everything looks really nice. But as you can see here in the background, it's a deserted land. It's kind of like a desert. Not much grows in this land. And it's kind of odd because this is also a Cups energy, and Cups represents water. But as you can see here, everything looks pretty on the outside, but in the background, there is no water. There is no emotional fulfillment. There is no flow. There is no hydration or nourishment for that land, for something to grow. Because again, Cups represents the water, and this land represents the earth. There is no water to nourish that earth for something to grow there. So what I'm getting from this specific imagery and the message that is coming through is that whatever offer came in the past that you thought, this is it, I'm gonna make this work, it looks good. Maybe it looks good on paper. Maybe it's a good paying job that looks good on paper. Maybe it's a partnership that you thought, okay, it looks good on paper, it works, we look good together, whatever that is, because this is a general reading. Apply it to your situation if you resonate with this. Whatever it was, it looked good on paper, okay? But the foundation, the land, the basis of this relationship, this connection, or this opportunity, if it was a job, if it was a relationship, if it was a partnership, whatever this was for you, the elements were not present for it to be beneficial to you. Nothing was going to grow out of this situation. And so that's why the offer is in the reverse, because something that you thought was going to be a really good offer, whether a partnership, whether a new job that would pay really well, or something along those lines, was not necessarily what it was built up to be, or what it was said to be, or what it looked like on the outside, because Five of Pentacles in the reverse. You still felt the lack and the scarcity. You were still in this dark room. You know, even though it's like, okay, it's a new offer, you know, I need to jump on this. This is going to get me out of my current situation. This is going to work out. As you can see, also another 5. So 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Look at the land. Okay, this is also Cups energy, but look at the land. Look how dry the land is. Okay, it's like she used her cups to nourish that land, to make something grow in that land, but yet nothing grew in that land. So it's like all the cups spilled, and those cups can represent your effort, your investment, your energy, your essence, everything that you put forth, even your emotional investment into the situation. However, look at the cups spilling. Do you see anything growing in that land? Look at the cracks in the land. It's so dry. Just like this card and just like this card. So it's kind of like deserted kind of energy of maybe not getting the returns that you wanted out of a certain situation. And again, this is coming in like past energy. And so the reason why I'm kind of even spending time on this specifically is because there's a buildup to where we're headed. And again, I just did a reading about it's about to go down in this month of March because of the winds of change, because the wheel is turning in your favor to get you out of this energy. Again, 5, 5, 5. There is massive changes coming into your life that brings the ending to that cycle. And so it's very important to kind of, and again, if you resonate with this reading, if you resonate with this energy, then this is for you. But this is coming in as past energy. There is an offer that came in. Again, this could have been a person, this could have been a partnership, this could have been a relationship, it could have been a new job, it could have been a new, I don't know, a new endeavor that you were invested into that, again, looked good on paper, looked good on the outside, maybe you guys would look good together, whatever that meant for you. Because I can't deny that there's Cups energy here. 3 of Cups also talks about soulmates and reunions. Not necessarily picking up love, but it could be for some of you because it's general. And so it wasn't what it seemed to be. It looked so much better on the outside than what it actually was. And so it left you feeling in this place of scarcity. And so what I'm seeing here with the world coming in is that there's a need here. And again, this is not going to be for everyone. It's general, and I try to keep it as general as possible so that people get messages from different parts of the reading as they may need. But this specific energy comes in specific because this offer, whatever it was, there's a need to be able to pinpoint what that was for you. If this is your reading, if you resonate with it, there's a need to pinpoint what that offer was, what that relationship, what that partnership, what that job, what that opportunity that you thought was going to be really fruitful for you, that looked really good on paper, that looked really good on the outside. There's a need to pinpoint exactly what that was, because this creates the breakthrough to the Hierophant, okay? Because look at these energies, okay? So 5, 5, right? So 5 is in scarcity, in a dark room, feelings of lack, feelings of poverty, feelings of being left out in the cold, okay? And then 5 of Cups, disappointment, disillusionment, and you know that even a little bit of heartbreak, even a little bit of grief, even a little bit of loss, okay? Because she lost all 4 cups that she invested into whatever this was. 2, and this is why it's so important to pinpoint what this was. Was it a relationship? Was it a job offer? Was it some kind of new start, some kind of endeavor? What was this for you? It's important because that leads from 5, scarcity, lack, feeling left out in the cold, disappointment, grief, loss, to finally 5, the Hierophant, realization and break free. It's a breaking free from that energy and a breakthrough also. And we just had the Hierophant in another reading. This card has been coming up very consistently, and the reason why is because sometimes when I'm reading, it's like I'm tapping into the same collective, and it's a continuation of that energy, because this Hierophant moment creates that breakthrough, that breaking free from that energy, that again, it goes from 5, 5 to 5, and at that third 5, you finally switch on to the next level, which is the world, and ending to that cycle. And so for this cycle to end, there's a need to pinpoint what that was, because there is this energy of disappointment, of loss and grief, that if it doesn't get cleared out, it's just going to keep you here a little bit longer, okay? 9 of Wands. This is someone who's tired of holding it down for such a long time. This is someone who's been at it for such a long time, and it's like you don't necessarily have to be here anymore. It's like you're trying to hold it down, you're trying to keep it together, you're trying to be strong, but there's no need to be strong anymore, because there's a release, there's a letting go, there's a new opportunity coming in. And so again, this month of March is that buildup, is that culmination, it's that climax. If you haven't watched the last reading and you resonate with this, I would recommend you to watch it. Again, if this is your reading and you resonate with it, because everything that you've been through has been a build-up to this big breakthrough, to this climax, to this breaking free from that energy and finally putting an end, not just to a chapter, to a whole freaking book, okay? So it's not just like, oh, just another new beginning. No, it's massive. This is not even just closing the chapter, this is starting a new book. And for some of you that I'm picking up this energy, this still feels very present. These energies here, even if it's like a little bit of a residue energy or like a little bit of an aftertaste, this energy of loss and a little bit of grief, maybe because of the old life or the old cycle that you're moving away from, there's a need to acknowledge, what was this? What was this offer that you thought was going to work out? What was this endeavor? What was this project? What was this opportunity, this relationship? What was it? Because this is what's kept you in this feeling of lack and scarcity and loss and grief. And kind of disappointment, because that energy of disappointment keeps you here a little bit longer. And so you see here, right, is the transition from the 5 to the 5 to the 5. Finally, that realization and being able to let it go. Okay, the Hierophant is coming in very, very strongly because this moment is here for a lot of you. A lot of you have been in the trenches. A lot of you have been holding it down for such a long time. 9 of Wands, wounded warrior. And it's finally like you don't necessarily have to hold it down anymore. You don't have to hold the fort down anymore. There's no need. There's a new beginning. There's a new transition trying to come through, and that's why, like, for some people it's so hard to let go and to let down their defenses because they've been at it for so long. They don't even know up from down, left from right, because they've just been at it for so long. They just kept their head down for so long because they were going through these energies. Okay, a disappointment, okay, we heal from it, we let it go, right? Something not working out, a failure, a defeat, okay, it's normal, it happens. But when you get so much of it and you have your head down for so long, look at her head is down in both of these cards. Okay, this is not just one heartbreak, this is not just one disappointment, this is not just one defeat or one failure, this is multiple defeats, multiple failures. This is going at it for such a long time. This is being at war for such a long time that you don't even know where it starts and where it ends. It just becomes your life. It like, you know how sometimes you have a bad day? But it's like if you're not able to like switch out of that energy, if things keep happening, like everybody has a bad day, right? But what if that bad day gets prolonged to a bad week, to a bad month, to a bad year, to a bad cycle, to a bad phase of your life, right? And again, there's no such thing as good and bad, but it just could have been a very challenging one, right? So it's like you forget that this is not what life is like. You just begin to, it begins to become something that is normal for you, right? It becomes because this cycle right here, I don't know how it's trying to come through. I'm trying to speak, but it's like I don't have the words right now. It just feels like this was a cycle, okay? This wasn't a day, this wasn't just a heartbreak, this wasn't just a disappointment, it wasn't just one letdown, it was multiple for a period of time, okay? And so this is what, like, again, Pisces are so resilient. Again, you have the wounded warrior, yes, but it's like you've got all your battle scars and you're ready to go at it, and you've been at it for so long that there's an ending here. There's an ending where you can lay down your sword, you can lay down your shield, because there's a brand new beginning where you're gonna be embraced. Okay, you're gonna be embraced, and there's new relationships, new connections, new opportunities coming into your life, and there is no need, because if you're in this energy, you're not going to be very approachable, and that's the thing. You're already in a new cycle, Pisces. That's the thing. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. For some of you, it's so important to identify what this was. What was this? Was it a failed relationship? Was it a failed opportunity? Was it a failed project? Was it a disappointment? Did it look better on paper than what it actually was? What was this for you? Because the sooner that you're able to identify what this was for you, the faster you get to this transition. Because look how beautiful the cards look at the colors here, okay? This is the best way to explain it, right? You're coming from here going to here. Look how gloomy, look how dark. Again, she has her head down in both of these pictures. She's alone in the dark, okay? She's looking at the things that have gone, that have been taken away, the things that have been lost. She's grieving. There's disappointment, there's letdown, there's defeat. She's feeling left out in the cold, all alone, right? And then look at the transition to where you're going. Super freaking magical, blissed out, and being embraced in this new connection, in this new beginning for yourself. And so what I'm trying to say here is, like, I have no words right now. Like, it's so hard for me to speak through this energy because I feel like there's some kind of disconnect here. between this to here, and it's the Nine of Wands. It's the fact that you're still in warrior mode, and you've already arrived. For a lot of you, you've already arrived at this new cycle. And it's like, okay, it's like you have your shield and your sword, but the war is over. The battle is over, Pisces. The battle is over. You won. Okay, you persevered, you won. That cycle is closed. Okay, it's not even just a new chapter, it's a whole damn new book. Like there's an ending to that book. And it's like kind of like you're looking everywhere. It's like, okay, are we good? Is it safe? Can I lay down the sword? It's like you still don't know. It's like you hear a little bit of noise here, and it's like some kind of like post-traumatic stress, like PTSD. It's like you hear something and you pick up your sword and your shield and your defenses are up. And again, like for good enough reason. You've been at war for so long. You've been in battle for so long. Look at her head down in both of these cards. So for good enough reason, Pisces, but what I'm trying to say is that you already arrived at this new stage of your life. You're already arriving at this new beginning. And for some of you, if you're not feeling, like if you haven't had this Hierophant moment just yet, a lot of you have, because you're on different timelines, a lot of you have had this Hierophant moment already. But some of you, and this is the reason why I'm spending so much time in these cards, you still have a little bit of the aftertaste residue energy of what this battle was. So there's a little bit of like PTSD. You know, it's like you hear a little noise here, or you see something, you know, something moves too quick and you pick up the sword, you pick up the shield, and your defenses are up. And it's like, and it's understandable, Pisces, it's understandable. But the reason for some of you that, okay, so there's two separate parts, okay? There's people who already arrived at this Hierophant moment, and you've already had this aha moment, and there's people that are right here, the Five of Cups, right before getting to the Hierophant moment. And so what I'm trying to say here is that the breakthrough, the disconnect, the step that you have to take from here to here is realizing that you're good now. You're safe. The war is over. The battle is over. You can put your shield down. Okay? You accomplished, all right? You persevered, you endured, and you've arrived. That chapter of your life has closed and sealed. It is no longer relevant. It is no longer, there's no longer lessons for you in there. You finished the book. Okay? Not just the chapter. You finished the book. And you're stepping into something brand new. And so, yeah, it's like so much is trying to come through, but I feel like there's some kind of disconnect between the energies that I'm feeling and the energy of the Five of Cups to the Hierophant. Is like, I feel like two very different collectives. A collective that already arrived at this Hierophant moment, and you've already had this aha moment, and things have already cleared. You're already seeing the results, the fruits of your labor. You're already seeing the synchronicities. You're already getting the downloads and the realizations, and you're starting to understand. Okay, he's blissed out. Why? Because he's received enlightenment. He's received enlightenment on his situation. Look how dark it is. Here. Look how full of light it is. From darkness to light. He's received the enlightenment. Okay, so some of you have already arrived at this point, but there's also another part of the collective that is still in the residue energy of here. It's like you're no longer in battle. The war is over. Okay? It is okay to put down your shield, but the reason why your defenses may still be up is because there's a little bit of residue here. And that's why it's so important to identify what this was for you. What this was for you, because there's an ending to that, and there's a brand new beginning where everything comes together very nicely. Okay? So if in the past everything was harder than it had to be, any little thing that you wanted to do became a challenge, every little thing became a mountain, is like that resistance, there's a breakthrough. There's an ease of that process. And the best way that I can explain it, Pisces, is that a lot of you, because it's 555, a lot of you are moving houses, a lot of you are moving states, a lot of you are moving, a lot of you are starting new jobs, a lot of you are shifting internally in energy, a lot of you are rising in vibration. 555, massive changes are happening. So what happens? Okay, if you knocked on that door in the past and the door didn't open, you knocked on the window, you knocked on so many doors and it was all closed, 555, there's a shift to where you find yourself in a new job, if you find yourself in a new location, in a new energy, in a new vibration, all of a sudden, things are happening for you. All of a sudden, the doors are all unlocked and open for you. But it only happens because you're here and not there. So it's like here, the doors are closed, okay? The door is closed, okay? The key is there, but the door is still closed. And she doesn't even know how to open the door, okay? She could have knocked until she gave up, okay? Because the door just didn't open. I don't know, maybe the key didn't fit, maybe she didn't see the key, maybe the key was too heavy, I don't know what that was. But it's like she knocked until she just kind of surrendered. Maybe even gave up a little bit, maybe even threw the towel in a little bit. you know, because she was at it for so long. 9 of Wands. But all of a sudden, she finds herself in new land. And that's the thing, Pisces. It's so hard for me to speak right now. I don't know, like, there's a message that's trying to come through, but it's so hard for me to speak because there's a disconnect between this 5 of Cups and the Hierophant. Okay, some of you, I already feel that you've arrived at this Hierophant moment, but others of you, I feel like you're in the edge, like literally, like right before that breakthrough happens in your life. This is where, like, I feel that collective, and anytime I touch this card, anytime I tap into this energy, I feel like a disconnect. But that's the disconnect, is identifying what this was, because identifying what this is going to help you transition, because 5, 5, 5, you get to the Hierophant, the realization, it all makes sense, it all comes together. 3 of Cups. And so, okay, so this is what it can be like physically, like, because there's metaphorical ways that I can kind of tie into this, where we can talk about the imagery and what this can feel like, what this can mean. But physically, practically, what this means is that, let's say that before you knocked on a whole bunch of doors, let's say that you were trying to find a new job, right? And the doors were closed. It's like maybe they didn't call you back. Maybe it wasn't the right kind of job. Maybe it didn't pay well. Maybe you knocked and sent out your resume and all of this, and it just didn't work out. You know, it's just like, maybe it wasn't even what you wanted. Maybe it wasn't even the kind of job that you would want to do. Maybe it wasn't something that you were invested in. Maybe they didn't even call you back. Whatever that was, is like you knocked until you had to surrender, because the doors were simply not opening where you were. Whether physically in a place, in a location, or vibrationally in a certain kind of resonance. But all of a sudden, 5, 5, 5, massive change, you find yourself in new land, you find yourself in a new vibration, in a new resonance, and the doors are open. The doors are unlocked already. Okay? Already the doors are unlocked. And the ones that are here in this Hierophant moment, you realize that the doors are open, okay? He's coming down from that door, and the door is open, okay? Here, the door is closed. So what I'm trying to say is that some of you have arrived at new land, but you haven't realized, because you've been here for so long, your head has been down for so long, that you haven't realized that the door is actually unlocked now. That if you knock, or if you try and open that door, it's unlocked now. It's okay. It's safe. You're not in war anymore. You're not in battle. That chapter has ended. And this is now getting specific, so I'm pretty sure this is not going to resonate for everyone, but this is massive change, okay? So for some of you, you're moving, you're transitioning, you're starting new jobs, you're moving houses, you're moving states, your resonance is rising. Your vibration, your frequency, your timelines are changing at this time to align you to your highest timeline, because this no longer is your highest timeline, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that you find yourself in new land, but you're still sitting in the same energy. For whoever resonates with that message, because some of you, I feel, are already here in this Hierophant moment, about to come into the 3 of Cups. And others of you, I feel like you're in the precipice. You're right here in the 5 of Cups, kind of working through that rest of the residual energy, about to jump into this Hierophant moment. And so I want to clarify this 3 of Cups. Holy Spirit, can you please clarify the 3 of Cups? Can you please clarify the 3 of Cups energy? Holy Spirit, can you please clarify the 3 of Cups energy? Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Holy Spirit, can you please clarify this? Woo. Okay, Victory in the reverse, and 2 of Cups, and the Devil in the reverse. Okay, so this is what I'm feeling. For the ones that are at this Hierophant moment, or about to come into this Hierophant moment, the next step from this realization is some kind of union, okay? Some kind of union within maybe a new job, maybe you and your higher self, maybe you and another person, maybe you in another collaboration or partnership, maybe you in a certain project or passion, venture, okay? There's some kind of union that is happening after this Hierophant moment. So it's like you have this realization, finally, the energy breaks you free from this, like, being in this defensive mode and being in this, like, battle kind of mode, this warrior mode, right? To finally easing and being blissed out and being at ease and realizing why everything had to happen, and realizing that you find yourself in a new stage of your life. And so that leads us to, so you go from the Hierophant to the 3 of Cups, some kind of reunion or union coming into your life. Again, this can be a new business partnership. This can be a new union between you and a job that is a better match for you. A union between you and a different partnership. Again, I'm not necessarily picking up love, but we do have a lot of Cups energy. So for some of you, yes. But it's general, so apply it to your situation. So there's a union that comes right after the Hierophant moment. So for some of you, it's a union with your passion. For some of you, it's a union with a new job opportunity or a new project that brings a lot of money into your life and leads you straight into a victory. However, these cards are coming out in the reverse. And what I'm getting from that, and again, we have another union card, okay? So 3 of Cups is union, 2 of Cups is union, straight up, okay? And this union can be between you and your higher self, between you and a new business partner, or a new relationship, or a job, or a career, or a project, or a venture. But they're like, these 2 cards are signifying that there is a massive union coming into your life. However, these cards being in the reverse, honestly, what I feel with this is that it comes back to this Knight of Cups. There's a need to identify what it was in the past that didn't work out. What it was it a relationship that you had high hopes for? Was it a job opportunity? Was it a project? What is it that you went for? What is it that you invested into? What is it that was a dream that it looked like a dream come true? It looked good on paper. That just didn't work out. Because there's something that needs to be addressed in this department for all these cards to go in the upright. Okay, because you have really good cards. The only thing here is that there's a need to acknowledge and identify what that was, because this residual energy is playing into this future opportunity, okay? Because it's already here. It's already here, but some of you may not be able to see it or view it. Okay, like what this can look like, it's so hard for me to speak. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard to get this message out right now, because I feel the energy is divided. I feel there's energy that's here, and I feel that there's energy here as well. But what's coming in is a massive victory that has to do with your passions and your money and some kind of union, okay? These 2 are union cards. So for some of you, it is partnership and love. For others of you, it's a union with you and your higher self, a union with you and a better match for a job. Apply it to your situation because this is general. But what I'm seeing here is that, okay, so for example, if in the past, and this is just an example, if in the past you had been hurt in love, okay, like 9 of Wands, like you have been at it, you've had your defenses up, not because you're pessimistic or not just because you're defensive, it's because you have so many scars, okay? Like these scars didn't just land there. Like these were scars that happened to you, that maybe another person scarred you, maybe another relationship burned you, or like whatever that was. It's like those scars are there for a reason. There's a reason your defenses are up. There's a reason why you have your high walls up. There's a reason why you're defensive. There's a reason why you're trying to protect yourself and go through the self-preservation and try to hold it down for yourself. There's a reason for that, okay? It doesn't just happen. You're not just born like that. People have hurt you. Things have happened. You've been let down. There's been disappointments. There's been betrayals, okay? There's a reason for that. So the example here is like, okay, let's say that you've gone through all this heartbreak and disappointment and love, so that when an opportunity of love comes in, it's like, okay, like, hey, new love is coming in, new connections are coming in. You're like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, yep, about that, no, thank you. Not on my watch, okay? So it's like saying no and kind of blocking yourself from that opportunity that could really move you to the next level. And again, I'm not saying it's love, it's just an example, right? So it's like, because of your battle scars, because of your past, and the scars are there for a reason, okay? It's not, they just didn't appear there for no reason. They're there for a reason. And everything you've been through, this is your past. All of a sudden, you find yourself in the future, in this new opportunity where unions are trying to come in, right? And again, we're just going to use the example of love. Nothing to do with love. This is not your situation. It could just be a job. It could just be a new opportunity. It could just be going after your dreams again and trusting, because again, we have passion and money, all right? And a victory in passion and money, okay? But it could also be a victory in love. So I don't want to just throw love out there because I'm not necessarily picking up that energy, but it is general. So for some of you, it is that. But this is just the example, okay? So because you've been scarred in the past, let's say that there's a new opportunity for love coming in, right? Now that you've achieved all this change, 555, you don't no longer find yourself on the battlefield. You no longer find yourself at war. You've actually arrived at a new place in your life. So let's say a new union comes in, right? A new opportunity for a partnership. And you're like, no, thank you. You just kind of like it's like you even give off that vibe of like, you know, like you're very unapproachable, okay? 9 of Wands, very defensive. It's like, no, thank you, like not on my watch, you know? And so you kind of close off yourself to a new opportunity because of this, right? So this is why this is key information, because identifying what this was, what this disappointment was, what was this letdown of something that you had high hopes for that didn't work out, because this is keeping you from this future opportunity. And again, not saying that it's love. It could literally be going at it again, a certain investment, a certain dream, a certain project, a certain business that you tried to start, a certain passion project. Maybe it is in relationships, in connections, in business partnerships, or in love. Whatever this was is keeping you from this, okay? So this is what I'm seeing, okay? There's a union coming in, and again, it doesn't necessarily have to be love, but your past is keeping you from the future. And there's a need to acknowledge, what was that? Who was that? What opportunity was that? What was that letdown? What was that defeat? Because this is what's keeping you from this. The battle is over, Pisces. You can lay down your sword, you can lay down your shield, you find yourself in new land. It's safe. But you don't feel safe. 9 of Wands. Okay? Whoever resonates with this energy, your defenses are still up. There's still walls there. Okay? It's like you can lay down your sword for a little while, but you hear a little bit of noise, you see someone, something moves too fast on the, on the side of your eye, by the corner of your eye, and you just pick up the shield, you pick up the sword, and you're ready to go. And so this kind of gives off this like unapproachable vibe. And again, it's not just for love. Let's say that someone wants to approach you for a business opportunity. I don't know, someone sees you out there, they see a talent that you have, they see that you're very well, you communicate very well, you come off very, very elegant, very eloquent, very intelligent. And they want to offer you an opportunity, maybe for work, maybe for a collaboration, maybe for a partnership, but your defenses are up a little bit. So it's like, oh, can I trust you? Is this a red flag? What do you want from me? Because in the past, all the people that came to take. They were all takers. So I have to have my shield. I have to have my walls. There's a reason why this freaking wall has been built and is being guarded. There's a reason for that. But Pisces, the war is over. The battle is over. So this kind of energy of being a little bit unapproachable. So I feel like this is not something that I'm fully conscious of. That you have kind of like this, like, don't F with me kind of vibe. And I get it, okay? Like, no, don't F with Pisces. Pisces has been already through so much. But it's like, you're in new land, Pisces. In this land, it's all bliss and peace. It's just like, you're the only one with the sword and the defenses up in this new land. It's so... This reading's coming in weird. I don't know. Usually, I can flow through the energy. But I feel like there's like... And you know what I think, Pisces? It might be, and again, this is not going to resonate with everyone. Like, this is kind of like, and I try not to get specific, but it's not going to resonate for everyone. But I think the reason why I'm struggling so much is because of the walls. Some of you are still here. Some of you have arrived at this Hierophant moment. And this is why these cards came out in the reverse. Because you have the best cards, okay? There's a victory coming in what it is that you want, what it is that you're passionate about, that is also connected to your money, to your stability, to your happiness, okay? It's very clear here. There's a victory in your passions and your purpose that is directly connected to your money and opportunities and happiness, okay? And foundations, and there's a union to that. There's a coming together with this opportunity. However, it's all coming out in the reverse because there's a need to address what this was. Who was this? What was this opportunity? Because what is happening is you find yourself here, but you're acting like this. Consciously or unconsciously. Yeah, I don't... Oh my god, this is so hard. This is so hard because there's literally some kind of a disconnect from this loss to this enlightenment. It's like, how do you merge the two? How do you get from here to here? Again, I feel some of you here already, and I feel a lot of you still here. And again, it's not like you're actively going through this loss. It feels more like a residue. It feels more like residual energy. It feels more like flashbacks. It feels more like a little, it feels like a dual ache in the background, okay? It's like you could have happy moments throughout the day, but there's like a flashback comes in. Or you remember, oh my god, this is no longer a part of my life anymore. Or, I no longer, it's like reminiscing a little bit and feeling a loss in your life. Because again, 555 is massive change, which means it moves you away from something that you had. I don't know, Pisces. I just want to end this reading. It's so, like... I feel like there's a lot of information trying to come through, but... Some of you, I feel very guarded. And also, I feel a disconnect from here to here. Which is... It's hard for me to flow with this reading, because usually it's very easy to flow. How everything just merges and meshes well together. But here, I feel a disconnect, and here I feel walls. It's kind of hard for me to get in here. However, Pisces, like, there's no need to worry because there is still the transition, okay? The transition is still happening. regardless of whether there's a resistance or not, the transition is still happening. When the resistance is there, it's just going to take a little bit longer. It's just going to feel a little bit harder. You're just going to feel this energy more. But as soon as you're able to identify what that was, you're able to release it. And that's what leads you. Identifying what this was leads you into this Hierophant moment, which then leads you to the Three of Cups, to the Two of Cups, to the Ten of Pentacles, to the Knight of Wands, to the Six of Wands. So it's like, it's all good. From here, Pisces, you've been through the worst already. Okay, so I'm going to end this reading. You've already been through the worst. You've already been through the hardest part. This now is just residual energy. This is now just PTSD. This is now just flashbacks from the past. But all your cards moving forward are very positive, okay? Your hardest cards are in the past, okay? So if you find yourself here, you're literally at the threshold, at the precipice of jumping into the Hierophant, and then it's all sunny from here on out. So yeah, Pisces, like that's the conclusion. I'm gonna just leave it there. It's all sunny. From here, if you find yourself in this energy of grief and loss and disappointment and having to let go of things in the past to jump into the Hierophant, from here to here, okay? That's the hardest part. You've already been through the hardest part. From here on out, it's going to be all sunny and good. Hierophant, Three of Cups, Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, victory, and union. That's all I have for this reading, Pisces. If you would like a personal reading, the information is in the description box below. But for now, that's all I have, Pisces. Blessings. Take care.